I know I've made a lot of videos in regards to Ronnie2K, but let's be honest, how has this guy not been fired yet? With his recent behavior and what he does on a daily basis, anybody in his position would have been let go by now. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about the reason why I think Ronnie2K has not been fired. Before this video starts, I want to make this one thing very clear, and it's that this video is going to be a speculation video. Obviously, I'm not friends with Ronnie or friends with anyone who really works at 2K, but I've seen this talked about a lot on the internet, and I also thought about it myself. So this is going to be a speculation, and I think it's a very valid argument in a conversation that needs to be had on why Ronnie2K has not been fired yet. So with that being said, keep that in mind while you're watching this video. Also, I'm seeing a lot of you guys who watch the videos aren't subscribed to the channel. If you guys enjoy any 2K content, make sure you guys subscribe. It takes 2 seconds, helps out a lot. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So Ronnie2K, for you guys who don't know, if you don't know his exact position or whatever the case may be, Ronnie2K is the official digital marketing director for 2K. To put this simple, he is basically the head promoter for the game. So Ronnie2K is responsible for getting all the celebrities on board, all of the rappers, entertainers on board, influencers, basically anyone who has some sort of a following or some sort of clout that would help them promote their game. We've seen this happen a number of times with the releases of 2K, whether it be athletes going on and streaming the launch of the game, YouTubers going on, streaming the launch of the game and promoting it. We've seen it happen all the time. So Ronnie, to put things lightly, is basically the guy that has all of the connections within the game. So he's the one who connects 2K with a very, very popular platform. With that being said, that position is very, very, very good. That position is something that requires a lot of responsibility and a lot of relationships with a lot of people. So you have to be someone who is easygoing and someone who is a very likable person. Which brings me to the question that all of you guys are wondering. How did Ronnie get this position and how is he not fired? Now, let me talk about a couple things because I want to make things clear. Ronnie2K has done a lot of things this year that have made a lot of people dislike him, therefore leading up to NBA 2K20 getting a very bad reputation. Don't get me wrong, NBA 2K20 is definitely a flawed product and should not have been released at the time it was released. It probably should have been released a month later and should have been patched and fixed before it was actually released to the public for $60 minimum. But with what Ronnie did, it just added on to all of the frustration with the game already. You guys already know that Ronnie went on a live stream and he basically guaranteed a lot of features in the game that never actually came out. Things like extra pie charts, the respect, which was the biggest thing and caused the hashtag of fire Ronnie2K, and multiple other things he did at the release of the game that just put a bad taste in people's mouths. Now the crazy thing about that is that Ronnie2K straight up just lied, and you guys know that, but I don't know if all of you guys understand this part. Mike Wang, who is a developer at 2K who actually works in the game. Ronnie does not work on the game, Ronnie does everything outside of the game. Mike Wang confirmed that he had no idea where Ronnie2K got the whole respect thing from, meaning that Ronnie2K literally made something up to promote the video game. And I think there is a reason behind this. I think in Ronnie2K's contract, if he sells a certain amount of games or the game sells a certain amount of copies, he gets one, either a pay increase or 2 bonuses, whether it be vacations or whatever the case may be. There's definitely something behind that situation that we don't know about, because what guy that is the face of a video game goes on a live stream and talks about a feature that is actually not in the game? The game releases and it's just nowhere to be found, and then he goes on live stream and just absolutely denies it. Someone who has that powerful of a position or that important of a position for a $1 million, billion-dollar company for 2K, probably shouldn't say billion because I don't know if 2K is actually a billion-dollar company, but regardless, 2K is a very, very popular and a very wealthy company. They are responsible for a lot of video games in the industry. Ronnie2K is a big part of promoting one of their biggest games, and that's 2K. So why would someone with that kind of position go on there and just lie to consumers? I want you guys to understand something for a second. Let's just say that you're Ronnie2K, right? And you're working at a job. Let's say you're just working at a little job and you have a boss. And you go out and you have customers who come to your store.
They're not happy with the product, so you sit there and you argue with them, because we've seen Ronnie do this before. You sit there and you argue with them and you tell them to keep crying, it doesn't matter. You argue with them on social media, you make mom jokes, you say that you're gonna beat them up, you tell them that you can pick up girls. You basically respond to all of the backlash that you rightfully deserve because you released a unfinished product and promoted false features in your game. So if you did that, your boss would probably pull you to the side and say, hey, look, so-and-so, you are doing this and we're not happy with it. We're going to give you a verbal warning. If you do it again, we are going to let you go. Because as a normal business, that's probably what you would do for someone who's acting out of line and not being professional. And that's exactly how you would describe Ronnie. So you get pulled aside and then you keep doing it, which is what Ronnie does. Ronnie continuously goes on social media, goes in Twitch chats, goes on Twitter, responds to comments on Instagram, and just acts like a little child and is very unprofessional. Like I mentioned, Ronnie2K has responded to people in Twitch chats who, by the way, are probably like 15, 16 years old, telling them that he's gonna fight them, making mom jokes. And keep in mind, this guy is 35 years old. He's 35 years old, and not only that, he is basically the face of the NBA 2K20 basketball video game. When you think of 2K, who do you think of? Ronnie2K for the most part. When I think of 2K, I think of Ronnie. Most of you guys who know who Ronnie2K is obviously because of 2K and because of what he's done this year. So Ronnie2K carries himself very unprofessionally and very, very immature. So if that was anybody else in a workplace, you would 100% be let go. So this leads us to the very important question that everyone's been wondering over the past, I don't know, 3-4 years, coming from 2K17 where he lied about underground parks and other features in the game. Why is Ronnie2K still employed and how has he not been fired yet? Now this leads me to my theory. I had a couple of theories, but there's only one that I really want to talk about. And this theory is that Ronnie2K has been with the company for a fairly long time. He's been around for I don't know how many years, but Ronnie2K has been a part of this company for a little while now. And he probably has gone through a lot with the company. He's probably learned some things about the company, how they handle business, how they treat their employees, etc., etc. So this leads me to my ultimate theory. Ronnie2K has not been fired yet because Ronnie2K has dirt and dirty laundry on other people that work at the company. Seriously, think about this. What other reason would a business not fire someone who is ruining the reputation of their product? Sure, Ronnie2K, as much as you don't like it, and I don't like it, this actually hurts me to say, Ronnie2K is pretty good at his job. He creates buzz and he creates attention around the game he works for, the product he sells, and it works because NBA 2K20 was the biggest selling game this year, obviously until Call of Duty came out, and that is very shocking considering the fact of how poorly this game was received. Easily the worst launch of all time, endless bugs, lying, false advertising, and yet the game still sold a lot of copies to put it in the #1 spot for the best-selling game this year. And keep in mind, this came out the third quarter of the year, so that's very impressive in its own right. But don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and compliment Ronnie because the way he handles business and the way he does his job is extremely unprofessional. I don't even know if this guy is allowed to go on the internet and say these things because he is a representation of NBA 2K. So if you were an outsider looking in and you didn't know nothing about 2K and you went and you looked up this game, you would see all the negative things about it. And then if you were to go see Ronnie's Twitter, Ronnie's Instagram, whatever, you would see that this 35-year-old head promoter is replying to people on Twitter and on Twitch and on Instagram, acting like he's 16 years old, insulting consumers who pay for the game. So that just means that Ronnie2K is in a very powerful position where I don't think he will ever get fired. Because if he were to get fired, he probably would have got fired when the hashtag FireRonnie2K was trending and their ratings took a massive hit. I've already done videos on the reviews of the game, and I'm not kidding you, the game has a 0.7 out of 10 on Metacritic, which is a huge website for reviewing video games. This guy has easily single-handedly ruined the image of 2K20. This game will forever be looked at as one of the worst 2Ks of all time, and Ronnie2K's reputation will never be the same. I question myself sometimes because Ronnie2K, if you go on his Instagram or any of his social medias, whenever he posts or tweets, there is nothing positive said to the guy. There is no way that he enjoys doing his job this much that he is okay with just getting insulted every single time. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out in public and people sit there and just insult him about how poor the game is and how poorly he carries himself. Because Ronnie2K is someone who is a very arrogant person. I don't know, but I feel like if Ronnie2K were to be let go, he would release a lot of the information that we don't know about 2K, and a lot of the dirty laundry and a lot of the dirty air, dirty business that goes on behind the scenes. I really think that's the true reason why Ronnie2K hasn't been fired. So that's my theory. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys agree? Do you guys not agree? Do you guys have different theories? If you do, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But that is going to bring the video to an end. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new. I just forgot how to speak English right there. But thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.